Hey there, it's Matt here, Chief Misc Apologist. Welcome back to my channel, and if it's your first time, don't forget to subscribe because I talk about all things positioning, differentiation, and marketing for consultancies. Today, I'm going to be talking about how positioning and differentiation affects your pipeline in a really, really positive way. And in fact, the compounding effect that it has throughout the customer journey. It could get quite deep. But the good news is I've got a presentation that I'm going to walk you through that's got all the numbers in for this very, very simple to understand concept actually, but hugely powerful. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right. We can't get away with talking about marketing new business differentiation without a funnel. At least I put it sideways. So let's have a look at what happens when your positioning and differentiation impact on your funnel. And it's not just the win rate. This is the point. A lot of people have this concept that when they get their positioning and differentiation working, it's only really going to help them in a couple of ways. It's either more awareness and attention grabbing, or to improve your win rate when it gets to proposal time. Actually, everything in the middle can be affected as well. Let's take a look. Okay, so first up, greater reach. Because you are more attention grabbing, you will indeed stop the scroll and attract and demand the attention of more of your ideal buyers. Why just your ideal buyers? Because you've positioned yourself well enough and specifically enough that only your ideal buyers will pay attention to you. Now, this is great because it filters out those that aren't going to be a great fit right from the start. You don't just want to fill your funnel full of people who could be prospects and that you've got to nurture and weed out and qualify later on. Let's focus on quality right from the start, not focus on big numbers that are going to impress the boss or anything like that, but instead make sure that there's quality and value in the funnel right from the start. So greater reach, higher click rate, more of those people who pay attention to you because of the way that you've positioned this offer are going to be open to the idea of finding out more. They're going to be curious enough. You're going to have piqued their intrigue levels sufficient that they click through to whatever properties you've given them, whether it's a landing page, a white paper, a webinar, you name it, they'll want to click through. Next up, you'll get greater lead conversion because you've set the tone for something that's very specific. Then when they find your compelling offer, again, it could be anything from an article, something that's ungated, all the way through to those gated offers like webinar signups and white paper downloads. They're going to convert more because, again, it's specifically for them. You've hit that tone. Very first thing, remember, you've got to make them feel this is for me. And then you've delivered on the promise, crucially. So there's no good reason for them not to want to buy in to whatever this next kind of micro step or micro commitment is that you've put in front of them. More calls booked. Doesn't everybody want these? And it's not about jumping in too early with that offer for a call. Who gets those cold emails, cold messages in LinkedIn saying, let's jump on a call? In the first message, sometimes in the connection request. Stop it. It's not going to work. It's not working for you. I know it's not. No, it's not. I'll challenge anybody who tells me otherwise. Next up, higher win rate. Now, yes, we said, the perception is it's at either end that the success happens. Higher win rate will come with better positioning because, of course, you've also built that positioning into your offer. You've ticked all the boxes in the buyer's brain that convinces that buyer that you are the only viable option for them, and therefore there'll be less price resistance, fewer objections, more deals closed. But it doesn't stop there because you will improve retention because of the fit that you have baked into your positioning. The buyer is very, very on board with who you do your best work with. They identify as that profile and therefore they're happy to stick around for longer. Let's put some numbers on this. So if you've got 1,000 people that you are reaching and with this click rate that you're currently generating, you'll get maybe 10% of those. That's a great click rate, by the way. 50 of them might become a lead and be happy to. I mean, higher conversions, something to come from great positioning, of course. But even before that, you might convert 50%. Fantastic conversion rate again. Really contrived numbers I've used here, but it's all for simple maths. More calls booked. So of those 50 leads, you might be able to, at some point, through great nurturing, be able to convince them, or 10 of them at least, to get onto a call with you. And then 3 of them you might actually win as clients. And let's take a look. I mean, a low lifetime value of clients for the kind of deals that we do would be 60k, for example. So over 5 years, you'd be creating about £180,000 worth of value. Now, you're not going to always have a recurring revenue proposition. It might not be 5 years that you're dealing with a client. It could be one-offs. But in any deal, it's going to be the deal value is the lifetime value that you're going to be encouraging. When you're doing these maths, by the way, I'd encourage you to always go for net. So factor in just the profit when you're calculating return on investment and assessing what your marketing spend should be and what have you. Okay, so let's take a look now with a 30% increase. Now this is a really conservative estimate of what might happen if you really nail your positioning and your points of differentiation, and this is the impact that it can have. You will reach more people through stopping that scroll with a much, much better proposition. New language as well. Higher click rate. So again, a 30% uplift happens at each stage and still benefits from the previous stage having been lifted up by 30% as well. That's compounding. So 169 click through. Instead of 50 leads converting, we now get 109. So we've more than doubled our lead generation just from a 30% increase in performance through our positioning and messaging. More calls booked. We get almost 3 times as many. We were getting 10, now we're getting 28. Just with a 30% increase again. 10 won deals. That's where the money happens. And also, through better positioning, of course, we can expect to, again, improve retention into the deal. So they might stick around for 6.5 years. And again, that could be conservative. We do a lot of work with managed service providers, for example. They'd be looking at 10 plus years for the engagements with their clients. Same with accountancy firms and a number of others as well. What's the impact on the bottom line? Remember, we had 3 deals closing at an average of 60k beforehand, and we haven't even factored in any uplift in revenue, which you could easily command. But now, just with the same deal value, you're closing $1 million worth in, and put whatever currency you like in front of that, wherever you are in the world. That is the impact of compounding win rates, compounding effect of great positioning when it comes to generating new business. So that's the concept today. Have you experienced this? Have you done the work on your positioning and messaging? Have you identified those points of differentiation? And are you experiencing that uplifting conversion? Let me know in the comments. If that's been useful, comment below. If it hasn't, thanks for visiting anyway, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now.